I'm the first person in the world to win a standard tournament with Penny. This list was crafted by my teammates from Boat. It seems like a fairly cookie cutter kind of deck, but has a surprising amount of utility with turn 2 Altaria potential, Swab Blue Sleep, and it still has space for Sabrina, Cyrus, and Penny. The matchups were all over the place. The main ones I was worried about was Entei, since they can win extremely early against me, and Vespic Queen, since I didn't have Leaf Blower. But either way, got pretty damn far, won the whole thing. This is my top 16 match against Greninja Lucario. I was extremely worried about this one because this definitely had the most potential to just knock me out of the game extremely early. With having either one ping of Greninja and Lucario, they're able to just, massacre my Rayquaza. So the aim here is just to bum rush them, get as far as you can. But they drop down their early arena, so that's gonna open things up for me because they won't be able to have that extra damage, because I'm gonna place down my Rainbow Cave and I have the Dragonair, so things are looking pretty good. I am gonna put down the early Rayquaza. I get a +3 from this. So this is a little bit risky though, having the Rayquaza down, because it does open me up as a target. But I'm just going to put the 1 energy down there, prep my back row, and just go in. That's going to be 20 damage. So I don't recall exactly how these games go. Mind you, this was like a week ago or so. Just finally got a chance to get into it. But they put the energy on the Froakie. They're going to retreat into the Chingling. Just lock me out of things. I already used my Pokeball. So not much else you're going to block out. They're going to use the Greninja. So they're really just using it as a safety net right now. So that's going to be the first ping. Second ping is going to do me in. Really needed Cyrus there. So right now I'm just kind of hoping that they don't have a Cyrus of their own. That single card in their hand. Y'all know how it goes. Even though it's one card, it's the one card they need. So let's see if that's the case here. They're probably going to go into Greninja. Yeah, just to stall out a little bit. And they get the energy in the back. And they have a copycat, so this might actually give them the Cyrus. So I have not used Sabrina yet, so I do have that available in the deck. I can stall out a little bit longer, but usually my game plan with this is just go in. We do have the Sabrina on deck, we don't have a sleep, and we don't have the necessary 200 damage. So I'm just kind of contemplating what I should do here. I can wait, but if I wait an extra turn, they're able to put down another Mon. But you know what? I say screw it. They don't got it. They don't got it. I'm gonna attack. Probably a mistake. That's the 4 energies. And that's the Cyrus. Yeah. And that's how it pans out sometimes. But me personally, the way I like to play these type of decks is really just go in. And you also don't want to give them breathing room, because they also still had other Pokemon in their deck that they could have played down and then kind of killed the whole opportunity of Sabrina in the first place. But this time around, gonna go a little bit more aggressive in a different kind of style, because I do have the Altaria, I have the Dragonair, and the Rainbow Cave, so I can get a hit in right away, granted I get the right energies. A little bit risky, but I don't know, I guess I was feeling confident here. They set up their back row. Huge, absolutely huge, just like that last game. We're gonna get a +3 from the copycat. Literally the best card I could have drawn. And I have the right energies. So we're gonna put that down. 100 damage to the face. No more pokes for you. I don't have any sleep on deck, so this could be spooky, but they send in their no energy Riolu, so that means they don't have anything. So So looking pretty decent. Looking pretty solid. They removed my cave, have my second Dratini, and the Dragonair in hand. I think we're just going to rack it up. Because why not? Very aggressive. Very aggressive from me. This literally looks like a repeat of the first game. So they can definitely just go in and just kind of mess me up. But nope. Not this time around, boys. Not this time around. The aggression does work. They don't draw their Mega Lucario, and we get that first win on the board. So this time around, starting first, have the Swablu out with the Dratini in the back and the Pokeball. So extremely good start. Cannot complain at all. I have the Dragonair in hand. Gonna put down the Mega Rayquaza. I really be throwing down some cards, man. I think I really just didn't want them to get a big copycat, so that actually did pay off because they didn't get an extra card. They do get the Pokeball though, and the Chingling. So let's see here. I think I'm contemplating using the Penny actually. The Penny could be good because they do have some good drawing cards left in their deck, and that's the thing about Penny. The thing about Penny is that you really have to look at what they have. So I see that they used 1 Oak before, so that means they have 1 Oak left and 2 Copycat. So that's 3 cards good for us, then a Cyrus and Karina. So I'm gonna take that. I get the Copycat again. That has been the trend this entire match. So I'm just stoked. They draw 2 cards, it's really not gonna matter. Now it kinda does. Now it kinda does. Still not stressing though. They wake up from the sleep. I get draws. Guess we're thinking on what to do. This is kinda in live time, y'all, so I don't really remember all too much what happened. But I do know that I am gonna rack on that energy because it does take a Ping, a Cyrus. It takes a lot of damn cards. It takes a lot of damn cards for them to get their win con. So I'm not stressing too hard. And it doesn't look like they have the Greninja either. They do have the Arena. I think they're just gonna stall out a little bit more, looking for the Greninja. Copycat +1. Do they get the Greninja? Let's see what happens. Oh, they're thinking heavily. And this is sped up too, guys. This is sped up. Look at that timer. Timer's going kind of fast. They are thinking on this play. And just attack. Okay, so they did not get the Greninja. Would have just mashed that right away. So now we have 2 energies. 2 energies on my boy Rayquaza. So it is looking amazing right now. Thinking about downsizing, we just go for the Copycat. We have an Evolution. Keep my hand small. I think they do have 1 more Copycat though, because I use their Copycat. Let's see how this goes out. They draw 2. They don't have Cyrus. That means they don't have Cyrus, so that means we get in this very next turn with 200 damage. This is gonna be my game to take. Very lucky, bro. Extremely lucky. Because they could ping. It doesn't matter. They put the energy down. And I think they're thinking to themselves, that's about that. I'm not even attacking. I'm not even attacking. We go in. 200 damage. Massive stuff. GG's. That was probably the hardest deck during this run. But going straight into top 8, this is going to be Sleep Scam, and this is difficult in different ways. So this definitely could be one of the most infuriating things ever, but this can also be extremely fast. Because I have that Penny in hand, I have the Evolution, they start off with a Swablu, so this is looking pretty good. Have the Cave. And they do have some good Penny targets for us. They do have the Oak, Copycat, Alicia, and Sabrina. So it does look pretty nifty, right? We have the Pokeball, we get the Dratini, definitely gonna put down the cave. Use the cave. But I do have Oak. Oak is assured 2 cards. And you see me touch on that penny thinking like, oh, this could be good. I could resolve more or even draw 3 from their copycat. But I just opt for that. I don't get the Dragonair. Kinda blows. Probably should have used Penny, because Penny would have benefited every single way aside from getting Cyrus. So the odds were pretty high for me. They're gonna draw an extra card. That's gonna be 100 damage for them. 130 is on the board for them. And not bad of a spot though. Not bad of a spot. I think we do actually come in and just start attacking. We can slow it down if I wanted to. Finally do get the penny for the +2. That helps out a little bit. I'm actually gonna try to sleep scam them and just bide some time for the second Dratini especially. So I'm just gonna put him to sleep. This is a little bit risky of a play though, because they do have Sabrina. So if they're to knock this out, and you know, had they have woken up, then they would have had Sabrina open. So this is a risky play. I wouldn't have, like, looking back on it, I probably wouldn't have actually done this. Not smart. But I'm gonna attack for 100. All I need is 1 Dragonair because I do have Cyrus in hand. So let's see what they decide to do. They might go back and just try to sleep me. They just surrendered. They just surrendered. Like, I definitely would say they had a chance. Maybe. You know, granted I didn't have the Cyrus, but they didn't know that. They didn't know that. They definitely had a chance there. But all the same, getting straight into game 2, they have the Eevee. Good start, I would say. You know, granted they have the Espeon. So we're gonna burn through some energies. We have the Dratini, Dragonair, double Dratini. I'm just gonna load up my board because I just really, personally, like as a player, I hate getting copycatted. I don't know how everybody else feels about it, but I just hate like getting copycat because there's so many opportunities to just throw down another card and make it less beneficial for them. But now I'm kind of back against the wall. I have to put them asleep. There really is no option here. So hoping for the best. Let's see it. And it works. It works for a turn. Amazing. So this right here, my team would deem ethical scam. So, you know, it still is kind of cheesy putting them to sleep. But hey, when you got 0 options, you know, I still got a pretty cool looking deck, you know. But when you really have 0 options, it's rough. It's rough, and sometimes you do need that paralyze or sleep or what have you. But all the same, this is a really rough position right now because they do have that Sabrina that we talked about last time. And I'm actually just going to concede because I didn't draw any evolution. No way to really retaliate because the 40 damage into the 2020 on the Darkrai just clean knocks out Dragonair. But game 3, they start off with the Eevee again. So crazy. They draw 4 from this. This is looking absolutely horrible. But we still play. I'm going to throw down the Rainbow Cave. I don't even know why I'm looking at it like that. Just use it. Have the Dratini. And I think I don't want to miss my opportunity this time with the Penny. So I think we actually do Penny. My hand isn't the craziest thing in the world. They only used 1, so back to what we were saying earlier, most of the results here from Penny is going to be good. Most, not all of them. We get that. They actually go into Igglybuff, not the smartest thing in the world, and it works. I wouldn't say it's the smartest thing because with Swablu, if they went to Swablu, they could have evolved and then, you know, passed down. But they go into Igglybuff. They're trying to risk it a little bit. Still pretty solid gameplay. I have the Dratini. They're asleep. I'm just gonna try for the attack. 0 damage, by the way. Rough stuff. They wake up from the sleep immediately. This is looking horrendous. This is looking like the worst state in the world. But we're still in it because they did that. That's the biggest mistake. If you've ever played that deck ever, which I have, I've won the very first tournament where Igglybuff came out. Well, not Igglybuff, what the hell? Darkrai. Where Darkrai came out, and you learn with Mega Evolutions, you can't just send them out like this, because I'm gonna trap you. I'm gonna try for the sleep because that's the play I have, and if it works, you're probably screwed. That's gonna be the sleep. You don't have Senator Lady. You're gonna stay asleep at that. So now we have a lot of time to play with. If I can attack them even once, I have the Cyrus open. They're still asleep. We draw into the Dragonair, so we don't have damage. We don't have damage yet. I'm just gonna put the energy onto Dragonair because that's where our damage comes from. Gonna try for the sleep again, and it works. 3 turns in a row. How far can we go? They're awake now. Alright, so good spot. We're gonna draw 2 cards though. We're gonna get that Altaria. Things are cooking. Things are going crazy. And I don't want to stall anymore. I think you guys have already learned what kind of player I am. I don't like to stall. If I have to stall, I'll stall. But I'm not always gonna go for that. I'm gonna put the energy this time on Swablu in case I draw into Rayquaza. They actually don't have any heals, so it doesn't really matter all too much. They're gonna try for this. They gotta stall a little bit because they can't keep that Altaria in. Because if I draw another Altaria, they're screwed. So that's only gonna be 60 damage. We're gonna be living to next turn. Still gonna be asleep, so a lot more stalling. I think we actually go for big draws because we know that there's a lot of time here. Big stuff. We get everything we need. Literally every single thing we need. So I would say that's a little bit risky of a play. Me putting the Altaria down and closing my option of putting them to sleep, but it's still alright. It's still fine. We wake up from that. I think they're in a position where they gotta sleep, or they're actually gonna go for the Igglybuff. This is probably the smartest call. The smartest call. I'm glad they picked it back up, because throwing down that Altaria early was bad. We're gonna wake up. We're gonna take this match, and we're moving straight on to top 4. Crazy. I really shouldn't have won that. I really shouldn't have won that, y'all. But this is top 4. This is against Vespi Queen. And this is my only loss in Swiss. So I'm a little bit nervous going into this match. I don't run Leaf Blower, so it's going to be a little bit tougher to take down my opponent's Pokemon. But they start off with the Pheromosa, so at least I'm able to potentially get a secure sleep and get things rolling. They get big draws, and they have the forest, so we gotta activate our Rainbow Cave because energy isn't looking too hot. Even if they have another forest, you just gotta keep cycling through that energy. Oh, the triple electric is no fun. I'm not gonna put down any mons. They are gonna just wake up. I don't want to put any mons down because they already played one of their copycats, so the chances of them getting another one is kind of low. They just set up their back Vespi Queen, they throw out the Field Blower, and now I have my own. I'm gonna go for the evolution here. I'm looking for that Rainbow Cave. We need that Rainbow Cave. We don't even get it. That's only gonna be 40 damage. They're gonna be able to poke me. but this isn't that Greninja scenario from earlier where they can consistently poke me. So this poke is alright. Not the worst thing in the world. We do have Fire Energy lined up for next turn. So not super duper stressed here. I'm just gonna go for the sure draw. I don't want to go for anything devious. We don't have Rainbow Cave, so we just manually have to attach. Just gonna put on all the energies because why not? That's gonna be the first KO. Vespa Queen comes in. I am not so terrified now because we did take 1 point and we have the Cyrus. Not honestly in a very good spot because they already used their heal. I'm kind of in the clear. They're gonna attack for 140, throw away the Shuckle. My guy's coming in. Yeah, this is a great spot. Could not get any better. 1-2, all the mons I need. Have that Sabrina security. I love that. We love to see the Sabrina security bench. So even if they swap me back, or if they go back, I have Cyrus, and I'm very close to drawing my second Altaria. So they're gonna attack me for 30. They're expecting that to be game. No, no, no. Come back here. That's gonna be our KO. That's gonna be the first game going to us. I felt very ecstatic by that. And now I felt a little bit more confidence here. Because, okay, sure, I don't have Leaf Blower. Sure, they attack me for 140. But they do have to hit me twice. That's the only way they can get through this. So the Shuckle is gonna come in. Bro is one of the few Pokemon, like just basic Pokemon, 1 energy, can do 60 damage. I'm terrified. I'm terrified because this can go so against me. But I do draw the Rayquaza. I'm thinking about what draw card. Probably Copycat, yes, to get the +3. Nice hand, very nice hand. I think I might try for the Sleep, because Sleep has been working out for us so far. And it does there? Okay, wow, I remember an entirely different game, so this is great. This is really great for us. So there's Sleep, we're able to get a free hit in if I am able to draw the Altaria. They use a Copycat though. They draw 2 more, and the Ogerpon, so now they wake up. Now they wake up. Oh man. Oh, this is terrifying. Here it is, Mr. Potential Man. Can he do it? It's gonna be, ooh, only 1. Very nice stuff. We're alive. They don't have an energy in the back. We have my Dragonair. I'm drawing 2 more. Oh my god, these draws are looking phenomenal. We get the back row, kind of just cause. Good damage, you know. That's gonna be 100 damage to the face. So 80, even if they hit for 50, like if they heal, that's gonna be pretty bad. If they have Erica here, that's gonna slow us down. But they're actually gonna retreat, go into Copycat, draw 3 more cards. Why not? Forest comes out. I don't think they have anything left. What is that? Shuckle. Oh, I guess that'll be the Formosa. They come in with the Vespiquen, and this feels very reminiscent to earlier. To earlier with the, what was it? With the Mega Altaria. Like they sent it in too early, because I could have smacked and would have been vibing. But I Cyrus because I want the free point. And I already have energy stacked onto Rayquaza, so I am in a very comfortable spot. They're gonna swing for 140. I don't have my second Dratini down, but I think I do. Is that, y'all? I record on my iPhone, so I can't fully see what's going on screen. But thankfully, we do reach 200 damage. Awesome. Yeah, so behind the scenes kind of thing. I do record with my iPhone, So there's like, I can only see literally half the screen. So my active and onwards and high key, I just be guessing my hand. Or just have like a good memory. But they have the lucky egg. They are starting off very hot. I'm kind of afraid. I have the penny in hand. But the penny against this deck is whatever. They have they have an equal amount of opportunity, but like it's kind of ass. This is probably the easiest match. This is finals. This is finals. They have no way to pull me back. They have, yeah, one Cyrus. But honestly, this is very straightforward of a matchup. I am just like zero stress. I think we use... Do we use the Sabrina? That would be smart, right? Sabrina could be smart. Penny. I use Penny to draw 2. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna put that onto the Dragonair because there's no need to put it onto the Rayquaza. 0 point. So they have 1 energy. They're gonna have 2, 140. So they have decent odds to shake things up and just make this a bad game for me. But they're just gonna go straight into the Mega. Straight into the Mega. What if I sleep you, dude? What if I sleep you? I feel like people this tournament have been extremely comfy. They've been extremely comfy with just going in. I mean, I'm kind of the same, but now I could stall. Now I could stall. I don't know if this works. It doesn't work. Okay, so this is probably their game. Yeah, they get the Cyrus. Alright, alright. But, you know, still though, very risky play for my opponent. Game 2 though, I start first, have the cave, good draws, Dratini, exactly what we want. Copycat, just cause. I'm not gonna put down the cave because we just really need that. They do copycat me, but they do have 2 outs for my thing. I'm like, I don't want to. They have an energy down. They have an energy down on the Chingling. Dude, not looking good. I have the Dragonair. I have draw cards. This can be a really good game. I'm looking at what they have. So I'm just gonna research. Get some mons on the board. I just remembered, yeah, I can't use Pokeball, it's fine. They're gonna stay asleep, so I can use Pokeball this next turn. They're gonna draw 2 more. See if we get the Lucario. Is this a no Lucario game? A no Riolu game? Okay, no, there's the energy. They're gonna get the first Riolu. Field Blower on my cave. I already have a fire energy attached, so I'm not stressing. I have the Altaria. This is also gonna put me out of range of that 90 because they don't have a other one lined up. So we're just gonna get the secure +1. We get the Sabrina, Cyrus, everything we need. That's everything we need. I'm gonna put the energy onto Swablu. They're gonna draw 2. Like I said, I'm not really stressing here. This matchup is extremely straightforward. And they just gotta suck it up. They just gotta go in. Really, that is how a lot of this has been working. But they're gonna try to just get more numbers on the board, more cards. You're gonna use Copycat to draw 3. Yeah, they're just trying to get big damage. They're trying to make sure that they can one-shot everything I have. Not a bad strat at all. But since I do run Sabrina, I'm just gonna put everything down, attack right here, Sabrina the Riolu, and that's GG. That is GG. Second game to me. Game 1 was a little bit sketch, but they're gonna come in with the Lucario, one shot, no more monster deck. They're literally just just card splatter, just everything. Everything's going down. That's her first point. I think they're just really hoping I don't get Rayquaza. But we Sabrina, and that's GG. So this is the last game of the tournament. The very last game. I start with Dratini, bad start. Kinda sucks, but we do go second at least. We do have second, so we have the energy advantage. They're gonna copycat for the same amount of cards into the Chingling. And what do we do here? We just oak. 1 and 2. Just gonna attack. 0. Yeah, of course. 0 damage. I don't see an X speed on their list. They're just gonna prep their back reel and the poncho and the egg. Yep, as you do. We have the Rainbow Cave coming out. We don't have the perfect dual energies, but we do have the evolution. We do have sleep. We have a couple options. And we're gonna use Penny, Karina. Yeah. I remember that vividly. I remember how upset I was about that. But we're just gonna attack with Dratini. Because I don't want to put my guy in harm's way. So that's gonna be Field Blower. Draw 2 cards. And there he is. Alright. We're getting into the end stages. They put down 3 mods though. I'm not quite sure about that one. Because now you have 3 mons. I know you can draw 5, but for what? I'm gonna load up my bench. I'm gonna go into Altaria. I'm just gonna swing for normal damage. Okay, they draw 5. Big boy hand. But I can also use the big boy hand. If they can't unload everything here, I do have 2 copycats right there. So what's the play? Draw is nothing. No mons. This could be just like last game, where I have the Sabrina, and I keep it going. So that's going to be their second energy in a rough spot. Because this... Alright, so they do the Cyrus. Cool play. So they used a lot of their hand to keep resources high. I am just going to do this and draw an extra card. Go to the Rainbow Cave. That helps a little bit. And now this wins it. This should just win it. If they stay in, I do just win this. Yeah, I'm just going to put down the Rayquaza. Big boy damage. I'm thinking about the cave, because why not? Alright, come on, old me. Pass me. Pass self. I think I don't do that for the sake of... what? I literally don't know. Because I have the fire energy on to Rayquaza. Maybe I'm just, like, being a little bit coy about it. I'm not sure. There's Dragonair. We have the cave. We have Dragonair. That's 150 damage. That's gonna be the win. The first Penny win. The Penny came in clutch a couple of times during this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching. This was a very fun run. I would super suggest trying out Penny. It is a fun card if you like a little bit of math, you know. But peace out. Thanks for watching.